Coming up, why the Bahamas intends to file a protest over this video.
The Prime Minister wraps up debate on the budget. Straight ahead, here are his plans for an economic rebound.
The court hears about a stash gun, a foot chase. All of this after police officer Jimmy Ambrose is murdered outside a club. More testimony from the trial coming up. The National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley.
And I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
Topping the news tonight, Prime Minister Perry Christie has wrapped up debate on the 2013-2014 budget.
Despite criticism from members opposite, the Prime Minister said his government is positioning the country for great economic benefits.
I will demonstrate to this House today that the Bahamas is in good hands, is in safe hands, and that hope and help are on the way.
Meantime, firing back at Free National Movement's leader, Dr. Hubert Minnis, Mr. Christie defended against suggestions that the economy was worsened under his administration.
When we came to power on the 7th of May, and 2 weeks later, we were given a budget and saying, this is the budget you're going to the House Assembly with. And in that budget, they were over $200 million in excess of what they had budgeted. Is that right? Like 250. We had to borrow over $500 million a few days after becoming the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Not because of what we did.
The government is pumping more money into the infrastructural development of the country. This from Minister of Works and Urban Development and member for Cat Island, Rumkins and Salvador, the Honorable Philip Davis. He outlined his portfolio, including the completion of existing projects and new projects being overseen by that ministry. The Ministry of Works and Urban Development getting its fair share of the country's budget as well. The DPM confirmed that more money was allocated to infrastructural development.
The allocation for the ministry was increased 100% since the last budget submitted by the FNM, and 150% since the 2010-2011 budget. Mr. Speaker, additionally, funding is provided for general road construction repair on New Providence in the amount of $3.5 million, and $10 million for general road construction repair in the Family Islands. The latter total will facilitate the roadworks as mentioned before in Cat Island, Exuma, North Andros, Acklins, and San Salvador.
The National Security Minister, Dr. Bernard Nottage, has given an overview of crime issues in the country, offering some radical suggestions for weeding out criminal activity in several areas.
Also, during the presentation, Dr. Nottage said there are plans for the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and Police Force to get support from other uniformed branches such as the Police Force. Minister Nottage announced that 150 Defense Force officers will be deployed to assist the Police Force. Janae Noel Ferguson was in the House when the minister revealed the latest crime statistics.
National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage says he takes no pride in the fact that last year
there was 60 for something like that. This year is 55. It's down. And the reason it's happening is because we have hard-working policemen on the street all hours of the night trying to protect us.
Now, despite this, Dr. Nottage says he's still concerned about the fear of crime. He revealed these additional crime statistics.
But burglary is down 15%, housebreaking is down 24%, stealing is down 6%, from a vehicle is down 9%, stolen vehicles are down 15%, murder is down 14%, attempted murder is down 5%, manslaughter is down 100%, that means there are none, rape is up 2%, Unlawful sexual intercourse is up 8%. Robbery is down 5%.
During his budget contribution, the National Security Minister outlined plans to crack down on crime. One of them includes the possible shutdown of a particular business.
I want to close these cash for good stores down. The person who is selling you something ought to be able to prove that they are the owners of it, bring receipts to show that they paid for it, Mr. Speaker, before you can do a legitimate business exchange with them. That is not happening. Ban the export of copper until we can get it under control. Armed robbery cases. 299 of them, or 59%, are incidents involving copper or jewelry.
Additionally, Dr. Nodditt says he will put a ban on the import of vehicles without clean titles. He spoke on a wide range of issues about crime in the country and said there are also plans to review the electronic monitoring system, as some persons on bail are reportedly involved in criminal activity. There are also plans to equip the prison with an instrument used to block mobile phone calls. He says this will prevent those in prison from ordering hits on the street. There's also plans on the books to give additional support to the legal system.
You cannot have on bail someone who's charged with 3 murders.
Really, man. Really?
How could that be?
But they are.
But they are.
Meanwhile, Dr. Nodditt said that police stations will also be monitored.
I've also directed the acquisition and installation of CCTV for police stations in New Providence and Grand Bahama, so as to protect the rights of our citizens and residents, and also police officers.
The fight against crime, he said, is a challenging one, and says it may be a while before we are able to see a drastic reduction in the numbers, but he believes the government's plan will help to arrest the criminal element. Jun18th Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, Dr. Nodditt also used the opportunity today to update the public on his health. After attending doctors in the United States, he told Parliament he's doing well.
He also thanked the Bahamian people for their prayers and well wishes, and he said, in his words, God is indeed awesome. He also said that he values the power of prayer as well. Dr. Nodditt, however, said that this recent experience has highlighted the importance of implementing the government's proposed national health care plan.
Who make a complaint, who need an investigation, that the hospital has the power to do just like that, that doesn't get done because they do not have the money. Our party is committed to providing this level of care, quality of care, access to care for Bahamians. It will be expensive.
It will be done.
It will not be cheap.
And
It will not be cheap.
We gotta do it.
It will not be cheap. And the only objection I'm hearing to it is it's too costly.
could you imagine?
But could you imagine if we could keep our people healthier
Yeah.
and they can live longer, more productive lives?
Cheaper.
We will create and contribute to an economy that would be more efficient.
Now, while the Bahamas has done well in tourism, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe, admits that the country took a big hit when the world fell into financial crisis a few years back. The tourism minister and member for West End and Bimini told the members in the House of Assembly last night that the Bahamas remains one of the most sought-after destinations in the world and continues to see an increase in visitors.
But here's what's interesting, Mr. Speaker. What's interesting is, in the Caribbean, the place that 67% of those who earn under $125,000 and 61% of those who earn over $125,000 want to come to is where? The Bahamas. The Bahamas, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we're back.
In our first look at whether a high-pressure system over the northwest Bahamas will cause winds to increase over the next couple of days, but outside of our studios just now, we have just a few clouds, temperature 85 degrees, your relative humidity 66%, winds out of the southeast at 10 knots, and your barometric pressure 1,017.7 millibars, that's 30.03 inches, and it is steady. But stay tuned, temperatures around the Family of Islands, travel and boating forecast is still to come.
Well, still to come, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responds to a purported abuse aired internationally.
And Stephen Dye steps back in court, the dramatic storyline coming up. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
Being a young person in the Bahamas celebrating 40 years of independence is something special and unique. We have so much history, so much to be proud of, so much to live for. The Bahamas, someplace special, someplace I call home. We're about to go into 40 years of independence, and it's something so unique and something I'm so proud of. I mean, the opportunity to grow up in this society with so many people that fought for our freedom, that brought us to independence. It's amazing to celebrate 40 years and actually look back on where we came from and to look forward to where we're going. In 2012, I got my first opportunity to cast my ballot in an actual national election. And it was a special process, a special experience, because I got to do something not many people the world over get to do. I got to cast my vote and actually elect who I want to represent me. And it's something that's I'm really proud of, something I call being Bahamian.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Helix Ultra. Performance you can see.